Hi guys, how are you all today morning? Good morning. Today is 28th July 2022. My name is TSV Raghavan and I live in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. I am a published author with Amazon Kindle and paperback. I write on spiritualism, fiction, and assorted subjects. Spiritualism happens to be my favorite subject. This is my spiritual channel on YouTube, that is haribol trsv nectar nectar nectar, and in this particular channel or blog, in our videos we have been discussing about the knowledge, ideas, opinions, and thoughts that we have gleaned through our studies of our contemplation of material matters and of meditation of spiritual matters. This particular video is no exception to that. It is only a continuation of our spiritual and material discussion based on contemplation and meditation. We have been talking about Kundalini. We have already talked about how the Kundalini serpent exists but is not visible to the naked eye because of its subtle nature. According to the yogis of war, Shiva and Shakti are two ingredients which make this material and spiritual universe run. Shiva is the matter and Shakti is the energy. Shiva is male and Shakti is female. This female form of energy is in every living human entity, and it is in the form of a tightly coiled snake of energy which is subtle and invisible and dormant. This particular tightly coiled rope of energy or snake of energy lies at the base of the spinal cord of every living human entity. We have already talked about another subtle matter called nadis, which provide the life force through life thrones to the living human entity through nadis and the network of nadis which are running alongside the nervous system of the body. Now, we will continue our discussion about this snake. What happens is that this snake is activated by the human living entity through a series of exercises and yoga practices plus mantras. According to the spiritualists of Yor, the yoga plus spiritual knowledge completes the whole system or the process of spiritual nature or achievement of a particular living human entity. Just spiritual knowledge is incomplete, just yoga is incomplete. When these two join together, then that particular living entity experiences a spirituality that completes him or her. Now, this Kundalini serpent has to be activated through some yoga procedures. One of them is called Kundalini Yoga and the other is called Hatha Yoga. This human being first does these two yogas, but along with that, he or she also recites some mantras and then they do two specific exercises which are called Bandha and Bhastrika. Bandha is the method of making the anus of the person closed and tight so that nothing escapes, and Bhastrika is the process of exhaling the breath from within the body of that particular person. Now, this Bandha, Bhastrika, Mantra, Kundalini Yoga and Hatha Yoga, when they are combined together, they are able to wake up this Kundalini serpent. Once this Kundalini serpent wakes up, then it straightens up and it goes through a nadi called Sushmina Nadi. It starts in the base and ends up somewhere in the skull. This Sushmina Nadi is a tube which grows across the complete spinal cord. This Kundalini serpent of energy passes through this Nadi upwards. That is, it starts at the base of the spinal cord and goes up to the skull slowly but steadily. The spiritualists of yore also made this particular spiritual progress, they wanted to facilitate it with superimposing 7 stations across this Sushumna Nadi for this Kundalini serpent to cross. These 7 stations were called chakras according to Sanskrit. According to Sanskrit, a chakra means a wheel, but these 7 stations or chakras were not in the form of a wheel. Instead, they were in the form of a lotus flower which is placed in equal intervals inside the Sushumna Nadi, and these lotus flowers sit on their back in various intervals in the Sushumna Nadi. The Kundalini serpent is supposed to pass through all these stations. When it passes the station, or when it reaches the station and goes through that station, it gets a particular power. which is either material or spiritual. That means that if a living entity has his or her Kundalini pass through a particular chakra, then that particular living entity gains or gathers some material or spiritual qualities that may be beneficial to him or her in his or her spiritual progress. Kindly let me know what you think of my talk on this subject. Please give me your own valuable and priceless ideas, opinions, and thoughts so that we may combine both and come up with something which is beneficial to all of us in the multitude of the society. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that I can keep reminding you of my other videos. Till we meet next time in my next video, it is good morning from TSV Raghavan.